Hey guys, it's Sweet Kid here for another CSR2 video. In this video, I'll be covering the Showdown, No Tofu Lost. Well, because of that, you already know what cars on offer. And of course, the main event, the Shadow of Speed. Now, this is a very typical event where you have to lock in 4 cars, and the 5th one is from Showdown. Do all this, and you'll get the Buick at the very end. So, in this event, there are a few lock-ins, and I'll be covering the first one first. The first one is a mix of 80s cars, 90s cars, and Elite Tuners cars. So you can see a lot of them, like my Type R, my NSX Type R, R911 RWB, Rocket Bunny Aero 240SX, and Corvette C4. I believe these are 90s cars because I have J and K plates on those to help me differentiate, and as a result, they do help me identify what year my car is from at a glance. So of course, besides that, there are a lot of other cars like my LB Works NSX and the like. I will not be reading out every single car on this list because it will take far too long, and it's not the point of this video. If anything, you can pause the video and see what car I may have scrolled past if you need a reference. And you typically gonna have a car for this event because almost everyone has something eligible. Usually it's a Supra. For me, I think I'll be locking in my NSX Type R because I just love that car, let's be honest. And that's about it for lock-in 1. So lock-ins 2, 3, 4, and 5 can be interchanged. Starting with cars that I own, the Jack Roush Edition Ford Mustang. Now this car, I would say, is the 4th best life racer in the game for Tier 4. Right up with the Cadillac CT5V Blackwing, BMW M4 G82 CSL, and lastly, the Audi R6 Avant GT. The only reason why I feel this car scores a tad bit lower than these 3 is because it's a Purple Star, and Purple Star cars can be a bit hard to get. So as a result, it gets a bit lower on my rating personally when it comes to how easy they are to upgrade. Next up is the MC12 Stradale by Maserati. Now this car, I got mine in the race pass, and if you don't have one, you can open gold crates for it, but be warned, these are the 20 key gold crates, and you might have to spend about 100 to get it if you don't have it already, so it might be a bit of a pain for you, but just a heads up, if you do have this or any other of the variants, like this one over here, they will be eligible, so you can just upgrade that. Next up, the Porsche 959 SC. Now, I do believe this is quite a good life racer. I've seen it somewhere, and I've raced against this guy personally, and I found it quite good. And jumping back to the MC12 really quickly, I don't think that car is very fantastic. I think it's just one of those upgrade. It goes fast, and it doesn't really serve any other purpose other than being an event. So we exclude that, and we look at just performance. Yes, it can be quick, but it's not going to serve you well. The 959, on the other hand, will. And this is why I suspect these cars will be in a paid bundle, and I will be buying the Tier 5 959 just so I can work on it, because I always love adding new cars to my life racing collection. So that alone is enough to sell me on it. And lastly, a new car. The Toyota Trueno Sprinter AE86 GT Apex. Well, what a mouthful. Okay, so I just thought about my first lock-in, and I still might actually change to the Supra because that car runs on Toyota parts, so does this. Because I've seen this iconic car before, it's a Toyota, and of course, the more Toyota parts I can get, the better off I'll be. So lock in the Supra as lock-in 1, and any elite parts that you get for that, like epic ones, put them towards the Trueno and you'll be golden. So those are the 5 lock-ins basically for the main event. So let's go over Showdown. Now, Showdown is a bit unique because this round, all the cars that are in here are basically 90s cars and 80s cars. You can have a look at the different lock-ins, and of course, there are lots of very competent cars that are in here, like the Viper, RWB, the Diablo, but most people are going to have either, I would say, the Honda is the most common, which is my personal pick as well, because I have mine fully maxed up if with upgrades, fusions, and elite level. So I will be using this. Of course, this isn't the quickest. If you do have the CLK GTR by Mercedes, that'll be your best pick, but it's quite unlikely people are going to have that, especially if they didn't play the game back when that was a price. I don't know where that was from. I know it's in collections, but then again, it's a purple star, and Mercedes parts are not too easy to come by, whereas Honda parts are really, really common. So most people are going to be like me with the NSX Type R. So if that's it, this is your best bet for this event, and that about wraps it up. I don't have much to say other than this is basically the lock-ins that you're going to have to expect. If you're a free-to-play player and assuming you don't have any of these cars, you may want to skip it, because the main issue here is, I wouldn't say even the Jack Roush, but the MC12 Stradale, because usually a car like this is just a waste of gold keys, and after that, the car just serves no purpose, and you've just wasted gold keys on something. So with that said, I would say if you do have an MC12, yes, you could do it, because the rest, I believe, are in the dealership for gold coins. So as a result, it's quite an easy event, because assuming I didn't have the MC12, I would just have the first lock-in, Jack Roush, buy this one for gold, and lastly, I had to spend gold keys on this or cash. So if you're on the fence of this event, where you should spend gold keys or cash, I highly recommend, first of all, getting this from Showdown, so the bundle is a bit cheaper, so you can spend cash, and you usually it's about 25 bucks, and you get the last two cars, unless you don't have the Jack Roush. I don't know how much it's going to cost as a result, but there you have it. Those are my thoughts. If you don't have these cars, by all means, you might want to pay 20 bucks and get the bundle, but then again, Maserati parts could be a bit hard to get, so take it how you will. At the end of the day, it's your money, it's your resources, so spend them how you will. With that said, thank you so much for listening to my little guide on this event and the Showdown, and I'll see you next time.